The Vanguard is the organization of the city that's in charge of tactical operations. The Vanguard runs small missions called strikes to take out those that serve a threat to humanity. On today's episode of Dismantling Destiny, we'll answer the question, what are strikes? Strikes are relatively short missions that have a little story element in them, but they're not entirely stuck inside of a campaign. You can normally complete a strike in about 15 minutes, and they're always done in a fire team of 3. The Vanguard section of the Destinations tab will give you access to the Vanguard Strike playlist. If you're playing solo, it will automatically match you with 2 other Guardians to get it done. Make sure you pick up bounties from Commander Zavala before getting started so you can get that extra bonus XP. The standard Vanguard Strike playlist also has its own weekly challenge. Complete 3 strikes using the same subclass element as the currently active Elemental Burn. Every week, the playlist changes up its modifiers, including one that's an Elemental Burn. This week we have Void Singe, so all void damage is increased. Heavyweight, so my power weapons do more damage. And lastly, Blackout. I won't have my radar and enemy melee attacks do more damage. In order to take advantage of that Void Singe and complete the weekly challenge, I'll make sure I have my Void subclass on. Make sure to check back up on the modifiers every week. If you forget to look at them when you're in orbit, you can just whip out your ghost to see what's up. Vanguard Strikes are pretty standard content. A step above those are Nightfalls. Nightfalls include more difficult modifiers and more difficult enemies, but they'll also grant you rarer rewards. Nightfalls come in a few different tiers of difficulty. Adept and Hero difficulties will match you with other players, but for Legend and Master difficulty, you'll have to bring your own fire team of 3. There are also some weapons that can only drop from the Nightfall. For example, the week I'm recording this, the Hung Jury is available. Once again, you can only get this weapon by completing the Nightfall, and the next week, it'll rotate in another weapon. Another aspect of Nightfalls is the scoring system. As you can see, when I'm defeating enemies, I'm getting points for it, and in the bottom right, you can see our total. Score is important for triumphs and the weekly challenge, which is to get 100,000 points in one Nightfall. Nightfalls also introduce the mechanic of champions. Champions are special elite enemies that have special traits. The concept of champions also pairs with the seasonal artifact, which we talked about in the last video. Using champion mods allows you to stun them and take them out, so make sure that you unlock these mods and apply them to your armor before getting started. The different types of champions are Barrier, Overload, and Unstoppable. Barrier champions create their own personal force field after they've been damaged, and they regain their health while they're inside. It is impossible to damage them while they're in their force field unless you have a champion mod equipped for barriers. However, if you can burn its health down quickly enough, you can take out the champion before it's even activated its force field. Overload champions are a little wiggy. They like to teleport around everywhere and constantly regain their health whenever they're not being attacked. Stunning them makes them stay in one place and stops their health regen, allowing you to take them out. Unstoppable champions will not be staggered, no matter how much damage you do to them, and they will run straight for you, so it's important to stun them before they can do that. All of the champions can be frozen using the Stasis subclass, which is sort of a secondary way that you can stop them from moving around. The highest level of difficulty in Vanguard Strikes is Grandmaster. You have to be at the maximum power level to even consider doing one of these. These Nightfalls have a ton of modifiers that make it really tough. For example, you have a limited amount of revives when you're in the activity. You can't change your equipment. Elemental shields must be matched or else they're really hard to take out. You won't have your radar, etc. To top it all off, if your whole team wipes, you're kicked to orbit and you have to start the activity over again from the beginning. This is serious high-level content, but you'll get really good rewards for it. Adept versions of the regular Nightfall weapons are available in Grandmaster difficulty. They're slightly better, plus you get to show off the great loot that you've earned for doing something really hard. Vanguard Strikes are one of Destiny's core playlists, and it can span from regular content all the way up to endgame difficulty. Stay safe out there. Thanks for watching. See ya.